Good morning, guys. Got my keto coffee here. My first one. Got my ribeye roast done. Cooked it to an internal temperature of about 140 degrees. This is something that I live off of, ribeye roast. Ribeye roast is my favorite, and Kroger always has it on sale. So, well, a lot of the time, especially around the holidays. I picked up this pan at Walmart. It's a Tefal for Tefal, whatever. It was like literally seven, or no, it wasn't. It was $11 for this pan. It's a perfect pan for this. I also picked up this cutting board at Walmart, $20. It was cheaper there than online. What I honestly have to say about new YouTubers, if you're looking to make it, you're gonna have to create something of your own. You're gonna have to come up with some of your own content. You're going to have to really prove yourself in your don't put out any bull crap. If you're gonna talk about, I see so many YouTubers, new YouTubers, come out and they think they understand what keto is. They think they understand what carnivore is, and just different topics in general, and they barely even brush the surface of it. If you're gonna make it a channel about following your journey, then do that. Make it a channel about following your. But if you're not quite sure exactly what's going on with keto and the science behind it and stuff like that, when you start educating people, like there was one guy I was watching. There was and he was talking about his keto had to do with having bananas in it and all this other fruit stuff in small amounts. That is not keto. That's never been keto. And it just sent a very, very poor message for other people that want to do keto that that's acceptable. And that kind of content is going to allow these people to fail. Now, mind you, I've been tracking this guy for over a year, and he's never got more than 50 subscribers. But those 50 people that subscribe to his channel are getting very poor information. Now, what I did was I researched keto for almost, I had been low carb for years. Anyway, I've been doing this for about 15 years now. Anyway, people trying so like super hard whenever they want to explain things. And it's not that serious. People will like your content. If you're a good person in general, people are going to like your content. Just relax. This smells so good. These make very, very, very good bone broth. Oh man, it's so good. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Wow, that is awesome. As a new YouTuber, if you create yourself a public keto page, like a business style page, what you can do is you can take your YouTube content and you can share it over to your public page. And as people like your public page, they'll get automatic notifications when you post stuff. Now, it's awesome that way because you can keep people constantly informed in any kind of new video. Not only that, um, you are double basically advertising yourself. It's an awesome way to get people on social media because believe it or not, YouTube is really very minute when it compares to Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. You get so many more people that will follow you on those other platforms over YouTube, and you got to use those platforms to help build your YouTube content. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can easily do that, but you have to learn to market yourself. So, as a new YouTube user, if you go over to Facebook, create a business page, and then on that business page, you can set up a website or something like that to attach to it and your YouTube account. So, whenever you make your YouTube videos, you share your YouTube videos to your business page. And then, as people like your videos, you you get them enticed. And now all of a sudden they're clicking on your YouTube link. And I've been trying this method out for the last 2 months, and I've gained about 400 subscribers in 2 months just by doing this. It works. And it's sad to say this, but it almost pays to be semi controversial. Because if you are, people get attracted to that stuff. And if you become your own individual person coming up with your own content, people are even more attracted to that stuff. Now, like for instance, this morning I showed you guys my way on the bulletproof coffee. You will not see anybody else do that. There's nobody else that's going to show you how to do bulletproof coffee that way. You guys know I'm not exactly for bulletproof coffee, but if you're going to do it and you do it my way, that is the healthiest way to do it. You can go to anybody's page and you will not find that. Cold brew coffee, heat it up, and then your additives in it is the healthiest way to do it. Come up with something of your own. How many of you know anything about ice cube electrolytes? Nobody talks about that. I created that last year. Ice cube electrolytes. That was my idea last year, and I said, well, I want a concentrated form of Ketorade my way, but super, super, super concentrated, and then put it in a ice cube container, freeze it, and then put it in like a thermos or something like that that's super, super insulated, and it slowly releases the electrolytes into the thermos as you're drinking your water. Never heard anybody talk about that. Hey guys, how are you? I didn't even know you were there. So, how I've been, getting my subscribers and stuff like that is I created my business page and I found something that I was good at. If you're super, super, super good at knitting or designing something or whatever, you use that as your backup criteria to keep your watched minutes up on your YouTube page. If you do that, not only are you gearing yourself towards your keto crowd, but you're also boosting your minutes up, your watch criteria by like something that you're good at, a skill set that you have. Me, I'm the keto mechanic. I have some of the top automotive videos in the world. My keto videos honestly aren't watched that much because I don't have my content shared enough. And there's not a lot of people that really know about me outside of the groups that I run. So in order for me to keep my content up, I have to tailor a crowd that really wants to know stuff. So if I can save you money and teach you how to work on your vehicle and make a video that's the smallest out of everybody else in the world that's going to get you the content better and faster, whose video are you going to click on? Mine. So I made a video about replacing an actuator that goes bad on a Honda Accord, and they're notorious for it happening. I looked at everybody else's content out there. I was not happy with what I was seeing, so I created my own version of it. Something that was better, something that was quicker, something that was faster, it was more in depth, and it was a 7-minute video compared to 45, 50, 35-minute videos. What do people do? They click on my video. It's the shortest, it's the most up to date, it's to the point, it's the most educational, and now I have over 50,000 views just on one video with the most watch content on my whole entire thing coming from those videos. It keeps my watch minutes up so I can stay monetized. Look at this girl over here, stalking me again. This is the best ribeye roast that I've made. Slow, slow, slow cooked. That's right, Deb. Y'all look at that. That is beautiful. I can taste that garlic all the way through it. It's been slow cooked all night. Anyway, so learning how to work the system, and then I won't lie to you, I made a few controversial videos that did boost my watch content a lot. That guy Vegan Gains, that vegan idiot that talks about killing babies and I don't know, his ranting and raving and stuff. I wanted to tell people about him. When I figured I'd make a few videos about him and then talk about some of the new controversial stuff with carnivore and keto and vegans. And guess what? My subscriber rating went up even more. My watch content went up even more. My minutes viewed went up even more. It's learning to work the system. That's wonderful right there. Oh man. Wow. My baby girl. So what are you gonna pick, Deb? Here. Silly. So I get to thinking about some things sometimes. Like I would love for this bulletproof coffee video to take off. You can have bulletproof coffee, but it's doing it the smart way. You guys know I don't like bulletproof coffee. The only sweeteners I really like people using are natural sweeteners like stevia and monk fruit. They're the only ones that don't seem to have an impact on your system outside of like erythritol and xylitol. I don't like stuff like that. It's not natural sweetener. It has to be made by fermenting something and yada yada yada. It's not natural. Stevia and monk fruit is natural. Now, you know, I would love for that bulletproof video to take off. Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and get that Instapot coming to you. Send me your information again, please. You have my email. Um, if you're going to do a bulletproof coffee and you're trying to reduce the acidity effect on your stomach and your teeth and stuff like that, go buy a cold brew coffee, heat it up, and then make your bulletproof coffee. It reduces the effect on your stomach. It's better for you overall. It's got more caffeine balance to it. It's just an easier coffee on your system. People don't talk about that though. There's so many other things out there that would make our journey so much easier, but they simply just don't talk about it. They don't think outside they don't think outside the box. You don't always have to try to reinvent everything, but think outside the box. You know, I we keep coming up with all these different names and stuff. This is another thing too. I think you can make it with a French press, but most people what they do is they just take they'll take so many cups of ground coffee and they'll put it in the bottom of a big container and they'll just fill it up with water and they'll let it sit for 24 hours, 36 hours, and they'll let that water sipe and pull all that caffeine and stuff out of that coffee and the flavor and stuff out of that coffee, and then they'll just drain it over like a cheesecloth and get everything out of it, and it's perfect. There's no, there's no, you want to make sure you get a coffee that comes from I think it's like a certain type of Colombian or Arabic roast or something like that that has the least amount of acidity. But just coffee in general will do that. Having the coffee is not bad, guys. Don't get me wrong. But understand what's going on when we have excessive amounts of coffee. Understand what's going on when it attaches your adrenal system. Understand what's going on when your cortisol levels, your fight or flight system's constantly getting taxed because people are having 3 and 4 cups of coffee per day. And then they wonder why they're not losing weight. It's because your body stays in emergency response state all the time. It's not time to lose weight in that instance. It's time to protect yourself. It's time to either fight or flee in that situation. So your body's not interested in really losing weight. So what I did here that you guys will see is I'm balancing this out. I'll take like the fattier portions and I'll fill up, you know, like one of these, like maybe 2 of them for the week. And I'll put fattier cuts on each side so I make sure I get plenty of fat. And then I'll put the stuff that has more meat base to it in the other side. And I'll make sure that I'll try to get about twice the amount of fat to protein if I can. That's one meal right there. You have to, as a new YouTuber, you have to make stuff that's different than everybody else. If it's the same old all the time, you're just going to grow real slow. See, I could have grown a lot bigger than what I did if I would have done more controversial stuff, if I would have got more into the doing debunking videos and showing people's faces and putting their videos up and telling people why they're wrong. I don't do that. And I'm not all about the fancy, flashy keto treats and fat bombs and bulletproof coffees and stuff. So my content has stayed low because people like those vices. They don't like somebody super, super serious all the time. But that's just kind of how I am. I don't change my content to suit somebody else's needs. But I find that if you really want to grow and if you're trying to make a living out of this, you're going to have to be controversial. You're going to have to be somewhat dramatic in some situations, and that's sad because that's what people are attracted to. If you just are okay with growing slow and you're not out to really make a career out of it, or you're not out to make any kind of money or anything out of it, then just keep doing what you do. People will catch on. People will subscribe to your channel for you instead of, the controversial content. Yeah, Deb, that's kind of a problem though. Just a few cups throughout the morning in a short amount of time can have the same impact as, 4 cups spread throughout the day. I guess it just all depends on the individual, but I can tell you right now that excessive amounts of coffee in general are not it's not healthy for you. It's really not. And the thing is, we've been told by so many professionals in the keto community and stuff like that, oh yeah, you can have the coffee and you can have this. It's not necessarily true. I've taken so many people off drinking coffee in general and had them just go back to just 1 cup a day, and they find that they're so much more satisfied and energetic overall because now their body can actually start to regulate and create its own energy and stuff like that, and not have to constantly rely on caffeine. If you have to have a couple coffees or per day, if that's something that you have to have and you can't go without, that's kind of considered somewhat of an addiction. And in that instance, I don't know that I want that kind of addiction. I don't know that I want that I know my body has to rely on that every single day. That's probably something that I want to start eliminating because that's not normal. So when I think of things that I have to have, well, I know I have to have food, but do I really have to have it? No, I can go without it. I can fast for 24 hours. Good morning. I can I can walk away from it for 2 or 3 days. It's not something that I have to have. I know I'm not addicted anymore. Um, do I have to have water every single day? No, I can actually go 24 to 48 hours without even having water. It's I've learned that when I realize I don't have to have something, that I'm okay if I can go without it. And honestly be true to myself saying that I don't have to have it. But if I can look at myself and say, "Oh, I gotta have that coffee. I'm gonna fall apart if I don't have that coffee this morning. Oh my God, I'm gonna lose it at work, and I'm gonna be a raging crab ass all day." And if it gets to that, I know I'm addicted to something, and I know I should not be doing that. That's just that's just how it is. Can't see what I don't what I can see, and I don't know if they can see or not, but I can see. Well, you've probably drank coffee too much if you can drink it before you go to bed and it not do anything to you. That you maybe have built up a resistance to caffeine, and that might not necessarily be the best thing for somebody. Um, if you're just drinking it out of boredom, you might want to try to find something else to drink out of boredom. You might want to try to find, like a Ketorade or something like that, where you're actually giving something beneficial to your body, or some kind of ACV drink that you can create. Are you guys having a problem with the video footage? 'Cause I don't. You guys haven't said anything, but Linda's saying that she's having an issue with the video footage. I mean, I am on Wi-Fi, and my internet is not that great. Well, then you got to come up with a bone broth or something, Nona. Maybe a bone broth that can be beneficial to your digestive tract, that can be very healing. I mean, there's more than one way to do this. I mean, if we say that these are the things that we have to do because this is just what we do, is that really a good enough answer? That's not necessarily a good answer. I want to do the things that I do because I know it benefits me, not because it's just something that I do. We all have free will and we can all do that, but is that necessarily optimizing ourselves? No, it's not. I mean, it's never too late to make those decisions to do that stuff. After all, it is 2019 New Year's resolutions. I mean, we can all optimize what we want. And if that's what we want, then by all means, we can, do that. But I would think that you would want, you're a very smart lady, and I've been following you for quite some time now, that if that's literally the case, I would probably try to come up with some kind of new drink or something that I would drink. I would try to have like a bone broth mixture of some turmeric and some pepper and like a little spiciness to it, like almost like a homemade soup. I would become addicted to that because I know at that point I'm benefiting myself. I am actually doing stuff for my health. I got these from Amazon. I sent Keto Deb. She won one of the giveaways. I sent her a set like this, and they're really awesome. And they snap on really, really tight. Amazon had them for like 14 bucks. Again, I apologize about the video if you guys are experiencing, kind of bad video. The reason I'm putting some of this garlic in these containers with this and not throwing it away is garlic is a very, very, very good prebiotic, especially for your colon. Asparagus and garlic are probably some of the best prebiotic for you. And it's very like detoxing, it's kind of like an antioxidant kind of deal or something to that extent. Very good for the body. So I'm just taking a few cloves of garlic and putting it in each one. They're so tasty. So my whole thing, just as a new YouTuber making decisions for 2019 is make sure you're making your decisions because you're doing it. I mean, there's a lot of fine lines to things like why am I doing this? Is it just because I'm bored? Well, maybe I shouldn't be doing it because I'm bored. Am I doing this because I need health and this is benefiting my health? Great, keep doing it. Am I doing this out of boredom and it doesn't benefit me? Well, maybe I shouldn't be doing this then. Maybe I should find something else that I can do out of boredom that does benefit my health. So what I do, if I'm craving like a hot soupy drink and I don't want soup because I'm more carnivore than anything and I don't really like vegetables too much, is I'll get a glass of bone broth. I'll put a little turmeric in it. I get a little Kerrygold butter and put in there. I put some pepper in there because what pepper does is the pepperin that's in pepper blocks your liver from trying to fight turmeric. Turmeric is seen as like a foreign body. And when you eat turmeric and you don't put pepper in your food to counterbalance it or to counteract your liver seeing that it's a foreign body, it will try to actually fight it and push it out of your system. So having pepper with your turmeric is essential. That for one thing it helps with anti-inflammatory joints and glands and just swelling in the body in general. And then on top of that, if you add a little fat to your bone broth with your turmeric and your pepper, that fat will actually help pull that turmeric and that pepper into your lymphatic system, and it will help you actually start to pull that turmeric throughout your lymphatic system so it can actually get in your glands and stuff like that and provide more healing power. Come here, girl. You want this juice that's left over in this pan? Come on, babe. Go ahead. Oh yeah, she likes that. It's just, if you do a lot of research, Nona, like I was online one day, and I don't have a family or anything like that. Just me and this girl and the horses. I was online one day, and um, good girl, and she ate up all that garlic that was in the bottom of that, the little pieces and everything. She likes veggies. She's actually one of the first dogs I've seen that actually will eat veggies, but she loves meat. And I got her on an all raw diet now. Her body has cleaned up so much. That's right. We got to get those thumbs up, guys. I've seen a lot of videos this morning where people come to each other's pages and stuff like that. That's all I've been doing is dropping by people's pages, and maybe I don't even say anything. I just hit that thumbs up over and over again, just because that's what spreads people's contents. Or I might even say, "Hey, Nona, have a great day," or something like that. And when I do stuff like that, I don't comment on the video. It's I want to show you some love, but I don't have time because I'm doing 10,000 other things. So my 2019 goals for helping YouTubers is I may not sit there and watch the whole video, but I'm definitely going to stop by and throw you a comment. Hey, thanks for being you. Have a great day. Thumbs up and move on, because that helps you. If I see your video pop up and I appreciate what you do, you don't always have to say something. A thumbs up would suffice. Something would suffice. Unfortunately, we can't see who's doing that. So there was a point last night where I had up to 40 people online with me at one time, and I had 16 thumbs ups, and I was like, "This is crazy." There's the support is just not there, and I think people forget that that does help other YouTubers out. But I would think I expect a little bit more because I give back everything. I haven't made yet. Next month will be my first month where I actually collect a YouTube check, and it'll be like $100. But if I look at things over the last 7 months of helping people, doing giveaways, gift cards, and stuff like that, I gave away like probably close to $1,600 just in Instapots and air fryers and in tools, and sending people, hey, I'll pay. One of the YouTubers that we follow said, I can't pay my electric bill, or, I said, you know what, send me the information, I'll pay the electric bill. Somebody else said, I can't pay my cell phone bill. You guys remember some of this in the past. I said, you know what, send me your information, I'll pay your cell phone bill for you. These are $180 bills, $140 bills, $120 bills, just because I want to be that kind of person. I want to be a good person that helps other people. But I ask for things in return sometimes, like, hey, why don't you hit that thumbs up or drop me a comment every once in a while or something like that. I don't know too many other YouTubers that do that kind of stuff, and I still don't get the support sometimes. So I think Deb's right. It's really important to drop by people's channels, even if you don't have time to sit and watch their video. Give them a thumbs up and say, hey, I was just thinking about you, or something like that, and then move on. If you really believe in their content, that would help them out. I can only do this, and I'm trying to. The stuff that I do through YouTube is going to give back to people. I don't make any money off this. I lose a ton of money, but it's because I want people to heal. I want to get my content out. Well, no, I make good money. I mean, I won't lie to you. I make over $30 an hour. My boss pays me really well, and I try to bust my butt. And sometimes I barely make it because I'm given to other people. And there's sometimes where I might make a bill payment a week late because I've made a commitment to somebody else to help them, and I'll help them knowing that I'll get by within a week later. And it doesn't look good on me with my utility company or something like that, but I do well for myself, and I figure that I want to give back to other people. I know I've been doing a little bit more of that lately, Deb. Um, but it's just kind of one of those deals where I'm a selfless person. I'm very straightforward and strict when I put out my content, but at the same time, I want people to know that I am a caring person. I'm just not going to feed you no BS. And if you tell me that by me being honest and talking bad about bulletproof coffee or fat bombs or something like that is hurting your feelings, I'm probably going to talk bad about it a little bit more, just because it's not normal to feel bad about being so true as a vice that's not nutrient dense to your body. So I want you to know how silly that is, that you're getting upset about that. And there was a lady, uh, she's got like 20,000 subscribers or something like that, and she had like some content up, and she was talking about the three top ways to make bulletproof coffee, and there was like tons of cream going in it and tons of MCT oil going in it, tons of butter going into it, and then tablespoons of sugar on top of it. And she's just pouring it in there and pouring it in there. And she's got 20,000 subscribers. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, dude, seriously? This is not healthy at all. Why are you showing these people to make 6 bulletproof coffees? This is not healthy. And you've been doing this for how long? 4 years? And you're still that far overweight? And you're doing what? And you're making money and you're calling yourself a health coach? This is crazy. You know, and I talk out about stuff like that. And I honestly left her a long comment saying, look, this is the science behind why this doesn't work. This is my personal opinion on why this doesn't work. This is how I know that I have so many social media accounts where I work directly with people. What you're doing is you're setting people up for failure. You're not setting people up for success. I'm sorry, I cannot pacify you. I cannot stroke your feelings and stuff like that. I have to be very open and honest with you. And then people are responding like, "Oh, you're such an ass." No, I'm not. I'm being real with you. This is real life, sweetie. It doesn't work that way. And then God forbid that you should call somebody sweetie or honey or something anymore. They're offended immediately. You just cannot do it. Just like that song, "Baby, It's Cold Outside." Oops, sorry, baby. I didn't mean to scare you. That's good, Nona. That's really good. My my landlord is in jail. My landlord is in jail right now, and I don't. I mean, honestly, I don't know what to do. Whenever I moved in here, I didn't know the situation. Then I found out my landlord was real bad on drugs before, and they put her in home. And when home, when they put her in a rehab home with her kids who like recover and stuff, she decided after just a few months, and she was almost done. She only had like 2 months left. She decided that she didn't want to follow the rules and stuff no more. So they were like, "Well, if you're not going to follow the rules, then you're not going to be here in your program, and you're going to end up going to jail." Well, she decided that she didn't care. She's going to do what she wanted to do, and she was above their rules and everything else. She didn't think about her kids. She didn't think about her family. She decided to pack up and come home. Well, this was a program that would allow her to have her kids there. They could go to the mall. They could go. There was activities for the family and stuff. I mean, she lived there. As a kid decided to walk away from all that because she didn't want to follow the rules and come home. Within a month of being home, they put her right back in jail. They said, "You're going to serve a year sentence in jail now because of your stupidity. You had your kids with you, you were doing good, and you chose to be above everything that you thought you should be above. And now you're going to have to pay for it." Well, when she left, there's nobody to feed the horse. There's nobody to pay the bills to. Then I found out, oh yeah, go pay the mom. The mom will do it. And then the mom says, "No, actually, just pay me a certain amount and then give the rest of the amount to the grandma because she's the one that takes care of all the bills. I just provide her kids daycare. So I want this amount for daycare out of the rent and then take the extra that's left over to the grandmother and pay your rent there." And I'm thinking to myself, man, I shouldn't have to do all this. I didn't sign up for any of this. I just signed up to rent this house. Why am I part of this family matter and stuff now? Be part of. I'm trying to get away from all this drama. And then, they're good people. They're wonderful people. So I figured, maybe it's worth it. Maybe it's worth going through and having to deal with all this. Then I find out there's nobody here taking care of the horse. The horse has been malnourished for over a year. And then I find out, well, now this horse hasn't had any grain. He hasn't had any mineral. For over a year, this horse has been that way. Then I started seeing his hair falling out by his tail. And then I started looking into the condition, and his belly bloated. He had worms. And I'm thinking to myself, man, now I'm going to have to give this horse antibiotics. I'm going to have to get this horse fed and cleaned. And I brush him, and I'm out here in the field trying to ride him so he can be a people horse again because he's been neglected for so long. And then I'm thinking to myself, man, this stuff is not worth it to me. I get myself in one situation because I feel bad for people and stuff like that, and I take on more responsibility than what I have to. Plus, I'm doing YouTube videos, and I'm going to work, and I'm going to school to help get the rest of my certifications. And I'm like, this is life. Sometimes you got to suck it up and roll with it, and it'll show you how tough you are. So now she's in jail, and she's supposed to be out sometime this month. She's been in there a little over 4 months now, I think, or close to it. Now I'm trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to do. When she comes home, I kind of like my peace of quiet and not being bothered. So I'm hoping honestly my landlord kind of stays away. It doesn't come over here. It doesn't bother me. She's not a bad person. She's annoying, and she's always asking for favors and stuff like that. And I'm thinking to myself, man, you should pay me to be here. I'm not, instead of paying for me to live here, can you help me fix this? Can you help me fix that? Can you go do this? Can you go do that? I'm thinking to myself, man, you need to pay me rent to be here, not me pay rent. Oh, sorry, dear. Sorry, dear. I didn't mean to do that. What this will do is this will help break down that collagen and stuff that's in there and get it out into the actual water. It don't take very much, just a little bit goes a long way. And then what I'll do is I'll take some of my European vacation seasoning, some taste of Provence, rosemary, thyme, fennel, bay leaf, lavender, oregano, marjoram, tarragon, and I'll add some of this to it for flavor. And then there's this taste of grease right here, which is black pepper, salt, oregano, rosemary, basil, parsley. I'll do a little bit of both of those. That's my taste of grease. And then, well, maybe I want this one. Basil, marjoram, garlic, oregano, thyme, rosemary, chili. Yeah, that's the one I want. Actually, I'm going to do all three of them. Promise. And then what I'll do, throw a little bit more salt in there. and I'll actually slow cook this for the majority of the day. It's been kind of stressful lately because the guys at work and um, one guy went on vacation and two young guys there, they don't know a lot. I'm the only one that can actually keep the shop up and going, so I'm having to do everything in the shop. Plus, come home and do this stuff, and then tend to the horses, and uh, I don't know. It just gets stressful sometimes. That's normal. Let's see here. Now, if I want to slow cook, yeah, I mean, I am much more stressed with the job situation, but my personal life has gotten so much better. And since I left that other big, since I left the other big keto group, the one that I've been running for the last year, that they basically came in and took over and bumped me out of it because they don't like how strict I am, and they made up all these stories about all this kind of stuff. And the guy that kicked me out of the group, he's a Christian, he's a good guy. But I think he's too young and he didn't know how to deal with the situation. So the only way that he could deal with the situation is just by saying, okay, I'm going to kick you out of the group. And that was a huge stress for me because, that group had 16,000 people when I left it. And I was there since like almost the beginning by myself, doing it by myself. Plus all my groups and making the YouTube content. It just got to the point where I couldn't do it anymore. And, I was getting stressed out, falling asleep in the driveway of my car whenever I pulled up. There was just a number of things going on. And he thought it was in my best interest to be removed from the group because of how stressed I was getting. And he seen me being like super, super serious with people. But when people would ask stupid questions, I would give them stupid answers. If you want to ask an adult question, an educated question, then I would be respectful to people. But if they would come at me with silly, stupid comments and stuff like that, I give them exactly back what they're giving out. And then they would say, oh, this guy's so mean and all this. No, I'm not. I'm giving you a taste of your own medicine. If you don't like it, then maybe you should change how you are. Because a lot of times we think the very things that are ailing us in our life are everybody else when really it's ourselves. And some of that, I do have to admit, was me. Some of it was. Slow cook. I want to do 8 hours. Nah, 10 hours. I'll do 9.5. Nine and a half hours. Anyhow, so yeah, I was stressed, but my home life, my personal life is a lot better now. Now that I'm just dealing with, my regular keto carnivore groups and my public page and making videos with you guys, my content is starting to really take off. Just over the last couple months, I've increased, about 400 subscribers, which is awesome. And I think people are really starting to get used to me. People are starting to give me a little bit more credit and stuff when it comes to things. The more I grind it out and I stay in the scene, the more I'm trying to educate people and trying to do the best that I can to actually learn and go into all these schools. And people are like, this dude's legit. I got Dr. Paul Saladino on the group now. I've got Dr. Wade Baskin coming on. I have an interview coming up with Bart K soon, a nutritional science watchdog that's going to do the live debate with Vegan Gains. There's another doctor I have coming on in March. Well. I wish I could flip this around. I can. Good morning, guys. So it's been a little rough lately, um, but no stress on my personal life at all. My personal life is good. That part I can't complain about. It's work gets a little stressful, but work is even getting better. And then financially, there's always something going on when you're trying to make a name for yourself. You're spending tons of money where half the food that you make ends up going in the trash or the dog or your neighbor or something like that. So it's um it's a struggle sometimes because now I've been looking into speaking at seminars and stuff like that, and actually starting my own venues, uh, a number of things. Just when I go out in public, I spend hours talking to people. Last night, I was trying to make a movie on time, and I couldn't make the movie on time because there was a lady in the thing about inflammation, and she was over by the tomatoes and green peppers and stuff like that. And I said, well, have you tried to figure out exactly how you react to oxalates in vegetables and stuff like that? She said, well, I'm a heavy vegetable eater. I love peppers and onions and potatoes. And I said, do you know that's a huge inflammation cursor for people? And she said, what do you mean? And I explained, and she said, oh my God, I had no idea. And I said, look, there's a lot of people that know about the keto diet. There's a lot of people that don't. I'm not necessarily recommending you be on the keto diet, but if you're just looking for regular nutritional information, I put out a lot of good content. If you want to jump on my YouTube, and I had 4 people in the store that were listening to me last night actually subscribe to my YouTube channel. That were just listening to me because my doctor doesn't talk to me about stuff like this. So, needless to say, by the end of the night, I'm walking around. I went over to, the where the spatulas and stuff like that is, and I wanted to get a new pizza cutter, so I went and got a new pizza cutter and stuff last night because I was using a knife the last time I did my pizza video, and then I was looking at the pans, so I went out and I got the new Tefal pan. It was like $11, and it's really good quality. So I was like, I need that for my roast whenever I do them. And then this lady, she's standing there. I heard her talking on the telephone. She's a diabetic. That's good. That's awesome. I give my dog raw chicken bones because if you don't cook the bones, they just break apart. They will actually just break and they won't splinter. But if you cook them, they will, unless, like you said, you slow cook them to the point where they just kind of break apart. But if you bake them or fry them or something like that, it's not really good. If you pressure cook them or you slow cook them, I'm pretty sure that they just fall apart just like they're not cooked, like fried or baked. Um, there's a lady, she was talking about, her blood sugar and stuff like that. And she said she likes drinking a Coke when her blood sugar drops. And I said, have you ever thought about buying like a constant glucose monitor? And when your sugar just starts to drop low, set a reminder on it. Um, oh yeah, Lou Malnati's is awesome. I love Lou Malnati's. Ethan Wayne, he's about to make a video soon. He's a friend of mine. I'm like an actual real video, like a video series or something like on Netflix. He's a friend of mine on Facebook. He actually went and tried all those pizzas and he said he loved them. Um, anyway, I asked her, I said, if you get a constant glucose monitor and you set it up through the app, or when your sugar drops to this point, start keeping track of what's going on as your first warning indicator, and you might want to try like a lean source of protein to kind of get that insulin up, and maybe get some beef jerky with a little bit of sugar in it. Maybe make some homemade beef jerky with just a little bit of like honey or something as your sugar that's in it, and you can kind of help regulate it that way. But just a little bit of protein in general and a lean source will kind of bring up your blood glucose and your insulin a little bit. So maybe you can try to control it with some of that. And she was like, I never thought about that. And I said, it'll work. I've seen a lot of diabetics do that. And she said, well, what else do you know about this stuff? And I said, well, don't you think it's kind of ironic how type 2 diabetes, we're already producing enough insulin, right? We just can't utilize the nutrients that's in the cell. So if you think about it, that's like trying to overstuff a dishwasher. You break the dishes and you break the dishwasher. If you do the same thing to yourself, why would I break the dishwasher and the dishes and then take a bunch of chemicals and stuff and throw inside it, hoping that I can get a certain amount of dishes clean and the rest of the destroyed dishes I'm just going to throw away and just shove more dishes in there and do the same thing over and over again? Why would you not give yourself more time away from food so you can actually utilize the nutrients that's in the cell so you don't produce excessive amounts of insulin and you start making yourself more insulin sensitive? But then the doctor wants you to wake up and inject more insulin in the morning, more insulin at night, and now we're already overproducing insulin and injecting ourselves with more insulin. How does that make any sense? And she said, I never actually thought about it like that. And I said, you know how I explained it to my doctor was exactly that. And my doctor was like, I never understood exactly that analogy. And that makes a lot of sense because they don't teach that stuff in medical school. They teach them what it is. They teach them how to prescribe medication. They teach them how to prescribe insulin, and that's just what they do. Metformin, insulin, metformin, insulin, metformin, insulin. That's what they do. They don't teach them how to heal it. They tell them to have 250 to 300 grams of carbohydrates per day. They put them on a diabetic diet, keep their insulin jacked up all the time, keep their blood sugar jacked up all the time, keep them on medication so they believe they actually need the medication, and it's a cycle. It's how they get paid. And she said, my God, I never understood all that. She said, let's walk over here to Sporting Goods. I want to write down your content. You know, the majority of people that follow me are people that I talk to in real life. I'll stop in the middle of a store and start talking to 10 people at one time. Some people walk away because you're just some schmuck. You don't know what you're talking about. But there's the majority of people that sit there and they're like, you know what, I don't care if this guy's got credentials or not. What he's saying makes sense. And I want to hear it. And they'll sit there and they'll listen. And they'll subscribe to my channel. Guys, if put information out there, I mean, don't push it on people. But if people come to you and they want to know, or they're listening to what you're saying, and they want to know, man, you've got nothing to lose. You really have nothing to lose. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that stay on metformin because it's not just a matter of losing weight, it's a matter of actually making yourself sensitive to insulin. And if you can't do that, there's fasting protocols. That's why Dr. Jason Fung pushes so many fasting protocols. I had 3 ladies last year that were severe diabetics within 6 months get to the point where they can fast for 24 hours. And then another 2-3 months after that, they went on a 48-hour fast with me. And then 2 weeks after that, a lady said, you know what, Rich? I want to do this with you. Can I keep track of my blood sugar? And man, that's awesome. That really is, Cindy. Why? I mean, I don't understand why the metformin though. Is it just precautionary? I mean, is there still some blood sugar problems there? But she fasted for over 72 hours by just monitoring her blood sugar. And that's amazing. She got off all of her metformin, no more insulin. Both ladies within like a year period completely came off of all medication. And it was from simple forms of fasting. That's what made them the most sensitive, not excluding diets. Diets work, lifestyles work, but it was by forms of fasting that healed them. The fastest. So, needless to say, who's Cindy? I'm going to say something. I'm going to get myself in trouble. I don't understand that. If my A1C is 5.0 or less, and I'm doing good, why would I not take myself off of the metformin so I'm not destroying my body and see what happens? Monitor myself very closely to see if I actually need it. Why would I take the extra time to stay on it for that long, knowing that I could possibly be healed, but I don't know that for sure. My body could possibly start to rise back up blood sugar wise, but then all of a sudden it starts to learn to control itself and bring it back down. I don't understand the theory behind that. You have a phenomenal A1C. I would start questioning whether or not I need to be on metformin for that long. I wouldn't just accept I want you to be on it for 18 months. That's just my protocol. That would not be okay with me. I would want to know why. I wouldn't just want to know a personal opinion on it. I would want to know exactly why, and I would want some kind of literature stating why. I think that's more of a personal thing than anything. There's a lot of doctors that do that and don't make any sense. Remember, you're the boss. The doctor's not the boss. You're the boss. You're the one that hires them. They don't hire you. You can leave and go to another one at any time. Yes, it may be an inconvenience for a little bit, but you'll find one if they don't comply. Hmm. My A1C went from 6.9 when I started this almost 3 years ago, just keto, to now I'm at 5.1, 5.0, and my doctor's super happy with that. Like, you know what, you're perfect. You don't need to do anything different. Keep doing what you're doing. And I'll have from, you know, 200 to 300 grams of saturated fat per day sometimes. Lipid profiles down, vitamin counts are all in check, A1C's in check, and my doctor's like, dude, that's amazing. I don't understand how it's happening with you, but it is. Just keep doing it. I don't supplement anything anymore other than vitamin D3 and vitamin K2, and maybe every once in a while I'll take some magnesium, but I don't even take magnesium anymore, and I'm perfectly fine. I think right now at this point, we're just talking. I hope I can get back into my YouTube accounts tonight. I'm locked out of it right now. I think somebody tried to hack my account and it locked me out. I do notice the bigger that I'm getting, the more problems I'm having with social media. But anyway, I'm gonna get off here, guys. I'm gonna go run and put some money and stuff in the bank and probably just go cruise and try to, just relax a little bit. Um, Everybody on probably talk to me is freaking out because they talk to me every single day, and now I've been off Facebook for 2 days because they want to do a photo verification of who I am before they can give me my account back. And with it being the holidays, they're not going to go over the next day, so I'll be off Facebook for quite a while. And I bet you people are kind of freaking out a little bit. They get a hold of me every single day, especially my admin that don't even know what's going on. And if one of you guys are on, one of my Facebook accounts, one of the keto accounts, if you jump on there and tell them what's going on, I would appreciate it. I can't get a hold of anybody. I need to get some personal phone numbers so I can contact people. Yes, Happy New Year to you guys. I'm going to go ahead and jump off of here, go run my errands and stuff like that, clean my scruffy junk up off my face, and I'll catch you guys on here a little bit later. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Have a great New Year's, and God bless.